Well, after days of inflamed tensions, Sweden is hoping to reset talks with Turkey, with Ankara holding the key to Stockholm's NATO membership bid. Finland, who so far has been running an effective joint bid with Sweden, said a pause of a few weeks was needed to help things cool down. Things spiked over the weekend after a protest was allowed to be held outside of Turkey's embassy in Stockholm, during which a Quran was burned. Well, joining me now to discuss this further is Stig-Björn Ljunggren, the political editor of Swedish newspaper Sydöstran. Welcome to France 24. Thank you for being with us this evening. This weekend's protest really has caused quite a stir internationally, and now it threatens to even derail Sweden's NATO bid. What's reaction been like to it there in Sweden?
Well, there's a discussion whether Sweden would maybe should stop this kind of demonstrations because, well, the Prime Minister says that we have two problems here. We need to protect the rights of civil rights of freedom of expression and so on. But we also have the most vulnerable situation since the Second World War. We have to join NATO. So what he actually says that maybe cool down, don't make those protests so we can get along with Turkey and join EU. NATO, sorry. The most common explanations for Turkey to start with was that Erdogan needs to show his voters he's a strong man, because they have an election in May, and after that NATO will have a summit, and then most people expect Sweden to be able to join.
Well, let's touch on those reasons. Turkey's objection to Sweden joining NATO was originally over Stockholm's alleged support of what President Erdogan says are Kurdish terrorists. Sweden has rejected those allegations. Is there the feeling there in Sweden that the country's membership is being used as a political bargaining chip?
Yeah. So as I said, Erdogan needs this for the election. But also, there's another option he has, and that's to buy fighter jets, the F-16 from United States. So he hopes that he will get that as a kind of prize for letting Sweden get in. And of course, there's also discussions whether he wants to help his friend Putin to sabotage this process. But the main reason is the elections, and of course his argument that he wants to obtain the terrorists that he says Sweden has is also he wants to get rid of his opponents. So that's also you have to believe him when he says that.
What more do you think the Prime Minister Kristersson can do then to win Turkey over? Is there anything, or is it purely is everything out of his hands?
Yeah, I think this will be will solve itself in May. But now there is another problem, and which I think is his main object now, and that is there's an escalation of criticism against Sweden as not only a case of Sweden versus Turkey, but Sweden insulting Islam as a religion. And we had a few years ago the caricatures of a Danish newspaper, which caused a lot of problem for Denmark. And now I think the Swedish government is worried that this will be another case of Swedish companies being attacked, Swedish tourists being attacked, and so on. I think that's the problem right now.
Is there anything NATO could do then, as an alliance, that could maybe help sway Turkey to come on side and to vote for Sweden to ascend to the alliance?
No, not really. I mean, just wait for the elections in Turkey, and maybe the Americans will sell him the fighter jets, and then everything will be clear.
Okay, Stig-Björn Ljunggren from the Swedish newspaper Sydöstran, thank you so much for joining us here on France 24.